What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Just for Giggles. Actually, it's a new year, and new topics, and more fun, actually. So today, I want to talk about an interesting topic. It's been on my mind lately, actually. So, lately I've been reading some books, actually, a series of books that really piqued my interest, but they're from I call it espionage genre. You know, those spy thriller genres, and I don't know what you're thinking is okay, all right. Where are you going with this? Well, let's see. I'm noticing a trend and some interesting things when it comes from movie, novel, and from author to author, actually. And I can think of a bunch out there. Tom Clancy, obviously, comes to mind. You know, all the Jack Ryan movies. You know, Patriot Games, Hunt for October, all that. In my opinion, Tom Clancy knew his crap. You know, because he's been in that kind of field, actually. He's also, you know, military background, actually. So it took all that and essentially just created this own world, actually, with all these unique characters, especially the character of Jack Ryan. Now, of course, obviously, another big espionage or in the world of spies is obviously James Bond, actually, created by Ian Fleming, which, of course, obviously, this guy was clearly just created out of, you know, from the imagination of Ian Fleming, because as you know, Ian Fleming was actually a British spy. Well, supposedly a spy during the war. That's what inspired him, the character of James Bond, actually. Of course, I might be wrong, but then again, I got to look more into it, and essentially, I believe, Well, essentially, in other words, pretty much James Bond is essentially the split persona of, that's what I'm gathering, is he's the split persona of Ian Fleming, actually. Of course, I want to keep diving into that. But then there's this guy, Jason Matthews, the author of the Red Sparrow book, actually, and this is a really good book, actually. Which, by the way, if that title rings any bells, the movie's coming out on March 2nd. People, any Red Sparrow fans out there, mark your calendars because I want to see it. Okay. So yeah, it's like each one of them has their own unique quirks. But when it comes to Jason Matthews, he really knows his shit because Jason Matthews is a retired CIA officer. So yeah, when you got an author that actually has been in the service for 33 years, you know you're getting everything. And clearly he goes into very much detail and actually chronicles almost everything when it comes to espionage. Well, little tidbits, actually. It's really interesting, actually. So, yeah, so I'm noticing all these different authors and just doing their own things and, introducing new things to the spy genre, actually. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look at them. I'm also going to give you guys the pros and cons to an espionage novel or a movie, and also I'm going to dish out some really harsh truth, actually, when it comes to the world of espionage, okay? So without any further ado, I'm going to dive right in. So, pro number one, when it comes to this, is the interesting, compelling characters, actually. Of course, I think I briefly touched on it right now with Red Sparrow, actually. Well, of course, we can all talk about we're blue in the face about James Bond and Jason Bourne, actually. But another cool character that I'm starting to warm up is the main character in this movie, in this book, actually, soon to be a movie, actually, is the character of Dominika Igorova. She's a former Russian ballerina. She's recruited by the KGB to become a spy, but then she gets thrust to go to Sparrow School. Now, for anybody out there wondering what the hell is Sparrow School, you do not want to know what a sparrow is. But if you read the book, you know what it is, actually. And if you've seen the trailer for it, do your imagination, you know, think about it right then and there. So, yeah, it's very unique, actually, but essentially, I like it because, to me, I feel like this character could be grounded in almost real life, but then at the same time, that probably wouldn't really happen. But she does have an interesting little quirk about this character, is that somehow she has the ability to read people and detect some kind of a color from them, seeing them you know, with different symbolism kind of thing. You know, she sees people with a purple aura as being, you know, okay, so is this someone I can trust? Blue pretty much means or they can be a little deceptive, and then of course red, yellow is definitely saying this person's evil or something like that. And of course it's really interesting how Jason Matthews really thinks about crap like this, actually. But yeah, it's like most of these different quirks will bring to life a character, and I hope bringing the character of Dominika Igorova in Red Sparrow, I hope they do a damn fine job when this movie hits theaters on March 2nd. Okay, but then again, now there's the con. For con number one, the changing some characters' backstories or completely changing it. Okay, back to Red Sparrow. Okay, we already know the character Dominika Igorova. She's the female lead. The male lead is a CIA agent by the name of Nate Nash. In the book, he is a 28-year-old fresh out of college, fresh in the field of the CIA. In the book, but according to what I've been just told in the upcoming movie, he is being played by a 43-year-old Australian actor named Joel Edgerton. If that name rings any bells, it's the guy from Warrior and of course the Star Wars prequel trilogies. You know, Uncle Owen rings any bells. So why they changed up the character's age, why they made him older, is beyond me. They could have picked any other actor to fit this role, and essentially can really play off of the character Dominika Igorova, who will be played by Jennifer Lawrence, who I'm still having mixed feelings about. So why Hollywood? Why would you want to do that when it comes to changing things to the screen? It's beyond me. Of course, obviously Hollywood is just corrupted, eating nonsensical nutcases actually. So nothing makes sense. But still, at least they're sticking to the source material. But changing things is just makes people really upset. It brings their piss to a boil, and it doesn't just happen in this movie. It happens in almost every movie, especially Harry Potter movies. Look at how different it was between book to book or movie to movie. Actually, think about that for a moment. Okay. Here's a nerd con when it comes to characters. Okay, just the character names is a lack of originality. Okay, Robert Ludlum, the author of the Jason Bourne franchise, Bourne Identity. Around I think it was like early 2000 or 2003 or so. Around the same time or sometime, he'd started a special line of books called the Covert One series that follows one single character actually, and the character's name was called Colonel John Smith. Really, you can think of any other name out there, and that's as original as you can think of, is the most cliche name you can think of, actually. But still, that series, I'd say if you can find the series, it's pretty darn good, actually. I actually have a bunch. It's the Moscow Vector, Lazarus Vendetta. Lazarus Vendetta is a really good freaking one. The Cassandra Compact and the Paris option, all pretty good, and they're all part of the Covert One series. Okay, so if it says Covert One. You're set actually. So yeah, really, you could think of any other names, but then they go into different of the more the cliche names when it comes to different people of different nationalities. I'm like, oh come on, really? This is the most generic Russian name you can think of. Come on, people. When it comes to authors and writers, you gotta think outside the box. Okay, come on. Colonel John Smith, his most original name. Come on, you can think deeper. Find a better name. John is most common name. In fact, let's see. I could probably do one even better. I got a few. Richard Estevez. Jason Moretti. In fact, I actually like that last name, Moretti. Sounds pretty cool, actually. Not to mention, kind of rolls off the tongue pretty well if you put into let's see, I don't know, the Moretti Factor or the Moretti Agenda. Seriously. Hey, money, and there's a story I can write right now, actually. There you go. So there, I just did you guys a favor, okay? Pro number 2 is compelling and likable villains that you're trying to root for, but at the same time you just want them to die. Actually, and like almost any spy movie or book, you're introduced to the villain, and of course they all have a motive. It's like they're all bent on doing something to make them known, be a threat to the world or a threat to national security, and like I kind of like that actually. There's like I'm gonna go back to Jason Matthews' Red Sparrow. The villain in this is actually obviously let's see. So you have the CIA, I got the KGB actually. One of the villains on the KGB is actually Dominika Igorova's uncle actually, and I like how they're making him turn out, actually. Well, in the book, actually. Movie, I don't know. I want to see for myself. It's like he's very manipulative. He's pushy. He's trying to, he's really powerful. It's like he's got motives that he wants things done. He wants to squeeze the information from the American mole or something like that. Okay, I really don't want to give too much of the story away for the book because if I do that, I'm spoiling the upcoming movie actually. So that's what I'm going to tell you. But then on the flip side, there's con number 2 is how dumb execution wise when it comes to movies, and this is especially a trope when it comes to Bond villains. Think about this: GoldenEye or any other movie. They got him at gunpoint. What are you waiting for? Shoot him! Come on, seriously. If you're gonna be a villain, gonna make the villain be as ruthless and vicious and that outgoing. This is how you do it, okay? Don't quit. Cut the bullshit. Just say, now you die. Pull the or just say you're dead. Just kill it. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, but obviously they want to do that just to make the good guy win. I get it, but still make him more ruthless. Okay. Pro number 3, actually, I think I touched on this already, is the exhilarating story. Okay, obviously we're not. When it comes to spy books like this, or better yet, this is the latest book I'm reading. This is the Sigma Protocol by Robert Willem. Is that it's all about pacing when it comes to a story. Actually, it's like you start out slow, it builds suspense, then something happens, and then it's all uphill, then drops. Then, it's got a tone. It's up. That's how it's supposed to be. A throw is supposed to be. Pretty much almost every Jason Bourne movie, even this. But for this. This book doesn't fuck around. Like literally, I'm only I'm only like I think I'm about 2 chapters deep, and shit, a lot has already happened. It's like, oh my god, something really happened. Like this really happened. I don't want to give too much of the story away. But the Secret Protocol actually has 2 different plots going on. But literally, it doesn't fuck around. Like literally, one guy tries to almost has his wife killed, and now he's on the run. It's like, oh Jesus, this is like freaking fugitive stuff already, man. So yeah, that's how it's supposed to work, actually. And of course, obviously, same kind of thing when it transitions to screen, actually. But of course, it's like I said, it's the calm before the storm. Then it picks up. Then from over there, you're just right. You're on a rush. You're like, oh, you're way out the edge of your seat. I bet you all are right now. You're like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? Then the next you know, here comes a curveball. Come on, yeah. So yeah, that really makes me want to keep reading books like this, or better yet, there's another book series I have. Technically, it's not espionage, but there are elements of espionage sprinkled in it. And that's the Andy McDermott franchise, which is the Hunt for Atlantis books, which I really want to see come to screen, actually. I want to see Hunt for Atlantis on the big screen someday. Because there's some of those elements sprinkled without, and it's like, that just makes you want to keep reading. That's what makes me, as a viewer, as a reader, just fall in love with this kind of genre. But on the flip side, this is what comes to books, actually. Too much fluff. That's con number 3. It's like, okay, you're going into detail. Okay, I get it. You got to tell us more about our character. What's he like? Does he or she have a tragic past? Of course, do we really need to go into detail on what the hell are they wearing, or how they got here, or all that? It's too much, and it just drags the book down. But also, it kind of drags the movie down. But of course, but if you're reading the book, pretty much the details are presented to you on the screen, actually. It's like, okay, so Jason Bourne's on the run. Okay, so from the majority of the movies, he's wearing his famous, no cloak, jacket and trench coat and kind of thing, with the black shirt, his jeans, his all that. We get that, actually. But when you talk about moments where, okay, where are you going with this? It's like you're going off track. You're straying. It's like how do I say this? It's like you're getting distracted, but then you digress and go back to what you're doing, kind of thing. So that's the bad thing. Okay, you don't want to oversaturate your books or your movies with too much detail. Okay. Pro number 4 is this actually more applies to movies. Actually, is amazing moments or stunts and all that. Of course, we can all think of some amazing moments in maybe a Bond movie. Obviously, a car stunt always gets us excited or happy. Actually, of course, the only big car stunt I can think of to my mind, which I really love, is the car stunt from Man with the Golden Gun. When he does the flip in midair, does the twist, went perfectly on the other side. I like that. But of course, obviously, what killed the moment was the cartoonish sound effect that they added. And of course, yeah, I get it. And of course, that's what makes something awesome to watch, actually. But in books, it's like, okay, you're reading. All of a sudden, here comes something unexpected, never to see. Like, oh my God, did I just read this? Did someone just really get murdered right here in the dead of night in some random apartment in downtown Russia? Yeah. Sorry, I'm giving away some spoiling details for an upcoming movie. So, shoot me, okay? And then the final con, okay? Con number 4, the cliches. Obviously, some of the spy cliches, it usually comes out right then and there. And of course, I really hate this, okay? It's always, okay, every government agency or every spy thriller, okay, DC is always a focal point. We get it. In truth, fight for our country, independence and freedom. Another cliche is obviously falling for traps, and of course, obviously, supervillain hideout. Of course, we can all think of every supervillain hideout in every Bond movie, and of course, there's the traps, like I don't know, like a Shark Tank, from Spy Who Loved Me, anything of that nature. But the big one that I cannot stand, and of course, it's actually a place on Earth, a real place on Earth, Switzerland. Good God Almighty, how many times or any book have I read do they have to go to Switzerland? I get it. It's a beautiful country. It's a neutral country. They got an awesome bank. I get it. But we don't need to keep killing, beating it to death for anything. Of course, believe it or not, this actually happens more often in the Hunt for Atlantis books, more often than I'd say something like this or a Robert Willem novel. But still, we don't need it. We don't need it. Okay, think of some other place. There's a whole country. There's a whole different world out there besides Switzerland. France, Italy, Japan, Australia, America, Canada, the Caribbean. Anywhere you can set a spy thriller, okay, or have something be a focal point of a book, okay, or a movie. Get Switzerland off the table, okay. In fact, just throw it out the window, okay. In fact, I already want to add to something actually. So let's see. I got an idea. Let's have Agent Jason Moretti, instead of setting in Switzerland at some point in this career. Let's make it, I don't know, Paris. There we go. Warm, romantic and deadly at the same time. There you go. I just made something awesome. Cash money, people. All right. So yeah. So pretty much that's all I got to say when it comes to spy thrillers. The pros and the cons. But here's some interesting real life things. Okay. Obviously, that's how. Pretty much most of what I just talked about is actually what kind of really happens, actually. In any espionage novel, it's slow paced because most of the time they're mostly doing desk work, okay? Yes, most field agents are actually doing a hell of a lot of paperwork. That's how they gather their intelligence. They're not out in the field, they're shooting or chasing after people. They're mostly behind the desk, gathering their intel and presenting it to their superior, or presenting it to the government, actually. That's how the world of espionage happens, actually. And of course, which leads me to another thing. But if you ask any field agent if they ever fired a gun, they would have said, once. Yeah. Really? Life of agent, it's all bells and whistles. It's pretty much, they can either be sitting at a desk, they've only fired a gun once, they've only been out in the field once, and they don't even drive a fancy car. They probably just drive some beat up, Subaru or some kind of Cadillac, okay? That's pretty much it, what the world of spies is all about, actually. But yeah, I hate to break it to you, but let's see. But hey, I will say has been a real life spy beside Fleming, Ronald Dahl. Yeah, the author of frickin' Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, bet you guys didn't know he was a spy. And of course, we're not. Supposedly, I heard he did actually bet a few women, actually. So That's what I've been told. Actually, I don't know if it's 100% true, but but don't take my word for it. Okay, maybe look into it for yourself. Okay, so enough of my rambling. I just say enjoy. If you love espionage movies or books, you love them. Okay, but I'd say if you're not, I'd say give them another watch, give them another go, and you'll probably just enjoy it for yourself. It's all about the thrill of being entertained. Okay, where in novels like these, or on TV, okay, or movies, okay. There's a whole world out there, okay. So that's enough of my gripes. Hope you like this little in-depth look into the world of espionage. Now stay tuned for some more videos. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel. See you later.